I'm Afghan background. In August, when the crisis hit, seeing like that email that the VC put out, it inspired me to reach out actually to my own conveners. Both of them emailed back pretty much saying there's no deadlines for you, we'll support you, like tell us what you need. That's like one like really big instance of when I was really supported by staff.
Really inclusive community here where nobody treats you like, oh, you need to go somewhere else and look for help. It's really like, if you need help, I'm your person, and if I'm not your person, I'll direct you to the next person.
I received from Wellbeing a total of, and all these other services, a total of 15 minutes of support for the entirety of the year. The reality is I've had to fight for every adjustment I've had. Like, my brain locked down for about 3 years as a result of a lack of support I received.
Services are readily available, but because there is a lot of services available, it makes it sometimes hard to find the service that is appropriate for you.
I find like with a lot of support services, it's more word by mouth.
Unless you're going out and searching the support services, you won't really know that they exist.
And then with that case, they just put me with a mentor. And that was empowering for me because I couldn't ask that from my parents because I don't think they would be able to support me. So having that mentor was a really sort of, I think, a life-changing experience in a sense, because it's good to know that you have someone to ask.
At the time, it's now been official, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. I have like a little well-being course called Focus, and all of those tips on that really helped me.
The assessments I've done the best on were the ones that were actually adjusted to my skill set. Clearly, when I do the things that I know that I am capable and good at, where my skill set actually lies, I can do well in them.
And so, I think that one-size-fits-all approach as well, which is understandable, but I felt like sometimes it kind of lacks the support that you need. Like it's hard to reach out sometimes to tutors because they have so many other students to deal with as well.
The fact of the matter is, we market as, you to the power of us, when individualised learning, especially for students who fall outside of, I guess, the general bell curve of ability, that doesn't necessarily mean low, it can mean higher, it just means different.
Also, being informed regularly of new developments within the faculty and the university makes me feel included.
At the beginning of the semester, the professor for the class was just giving a rundown for the students of how to enroll in classes, and how to like structure their study plan to make sure they're taking the right units after each other. And when I was thinking about that, that was just like advice that I didn't get in my first year. And as I said, I still like face the complications of it because I'm not taking the classes in the right order.
I would love to have 2-hour tutorials. I know I sound kind of crazy.
The U-shaped setting, that was, I think, one not necessarily a very good way to teach, because every time you would ask a question, you feel like you're like under the spotlight.
Don't create that sort of class environment where you're so anxious that you just don't even want to go, even if you really enjoy the professor and whatever it is they're teaching. Don't create that sort of environment, because at them that we're paying for these classes. So create that sort of environment where nobody feels pressured, nobody feels anxious.
These uni students, they chose to be here, they're paying for this degree. Ultimately, what happens is people will fail the unit and then they have to retake the unit, and it comes out of their pay packet. And it always impacts the low SES people, the people from disadvantaged backgrounds, the refugees, the people from Indigenous backgrounds. We're the ones that always bear the brunt of it.
We need to look more into when a student is failing multiple times, especially, but the university needs to look into actually trying to embrace the student's skill set.
I think a lot of the opportunities that are advertised don't include people, say, from different backgrounds. And so it's just like a bias that people have. It's like, I'm scared to go because there's not like a lot of people like me. So I think in advertising, just making sure like there's more diversity included.
It'd be a good idea for the teachers to know the needs of their students prior for them coming into the class.
Zoom option is so great, and it makes it so much more accessible because it cuts commute times and it makes a 50-minute tutorial a 50-minute tutorial.
This climate, there should be online recordings for everything.
I think it's about having as many different options as possible, and that's how we're going to get the best student experience, in my opinion.
If we can have more mobility stuff, like just to make it easier for people who have like who are on, using wheelchairs to get into campus and around classes, because I do find Macquarie sometimes it's very ableist.
More tools and more resources, and make sure they're putting it out on more platforms that students can access, like social media or through emails.
Maybe like a little infographic thing for like how to get help, where to go.
Make like a special tab on iLearn for all like the academic resources or whatever it is.
A big one would be special cons needs to be streamlined a little bit and made to look less intimidating. Even if they could do it over the phone or something, you can get a special cons over the phone.
Like less steps involved for the person who needs the help, and more like implemented into the broader systems.
Less severe, less austere. I just feel like if it's not the professors, then the university, the department needs to consider what kind of situation, what kind of climate professors and students are in. I just feel like they have a responsibility to just, take some pressure off.
If something's not working, don't push a student past their breaking point.
It's the small things I think that makes or break the teaching and that connection between you and the teacher. So
you need to be able to play off people's strengths, embrace the difference. Difference breeds innovation, and isn't what we want. If we're talking about embracing diversity, then maybe we should embrace diversity of thought and skill set.